Board games, it's what we're talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And over here, there is a person known as the lovely Rita. Maybe soon we will be joined by the one that is the person that we known as Tiz, Rita Tiz, and I have made a game. It has changed. It's never been the same. That is just the nature of design. Things change and change as you work on it with your mind. Board games and designing and deciding whether to carry on is what we're talking about. Board games and deciding whether to carry on. I'm not gonna shout. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. And yes, this is Bezzy Beats and Board Game Blether. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. It's number 399.
Oh, it's also very exciting for me because the last month I was every week in your stream, and next week, what will I doing? What?
And hello, Tiz.
Hello.
Sorry, guys, for being 2 minutes late.
It's all good, Tiz. We still love you.
Yeah. Today we are full of love.
Oh, that's great.
We are.
Why is that?
Oh, just generally, we're so hyped about today and about tomorrow is like the 400th stream, and it feels like the end of an era with So we are. Before I get anywhere, we are game making with Tiz and Rita. Over there, we are going to be pondering, discussing, designing, and maybe playtesting. We'll see what happens. And I want to say hello, Nicholas.
Hey, Nicholas, it's your birthday today.
Is it? Wait,
yes.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, Facebook told me that, so it must be true.
Is it your birthday, Nicholas? If it's your birthday,
it says on Facebook, it must be true.
Nicholas, tell us if Facebook is right.
So, shall we sing Happy Birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Boom,
Happy
boom.
Happy birthday, dear Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Happy birthday to
you.
It is true. So hip hip hooray!
Hooray!
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! And stream elements, I am going to get up and quickly turn around left to right. This isn't going to be a super long stream. It's not going to be like a 25-hour stream or anything. But Nicholas, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's lovely to have you. And yes, before we are going to talk about this game that we started chatting about on episode 283 during the game jam. We made this game together. We liked it, and we've continued to work on it. We've got a place that we're happy on it, but the fortnight before last, and then the fortnight before that, I was on my own, and that was a bit sad. So I was like all alone. But then this week, I'm going to let's go maybe in a wee bit through the Google documents. Let's talk about it and let's decide what we're going to do. Because of course, we're not going to meet up here, but we can still meet up, digitally. Maybe we could meet up next Tuesday to keep the dream alive, Rita. On Monday, like a private thing.
Yes.
And not stream, but Nicholas, I'm very glad that the birthday song made you happy. But before we get into what have you been up to? Have you done anything fun for your birthday so far? I guess it's already 11 a.m. So Nicholas is where you are, and so let's hear about your recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. Nicholas, what have you been doing so far for your birthday morning? Hello, Dutch Yoda, good morning. And it is lots of love to Nicholas, who is having a birthday. But Tiz, would you like to talk about any of your recent highlights?
There's many recent highlights because we haven't met in a few weeks. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on. But I was very happy last weekend. I went to see a lot of exhibitions and a lot of different things, which I haven't done in more than a year. So it's
nice.
For some reason very relevant. But back in my normal life, is something that I used to do basically every week. But hey, highlight today.
That is fantastic. And, as
pandemic.
we return to being able to do things, and Rita and I were talking about all the things about UK Games Expo, about Spiel, about everything. We are so excited to have, and
Wait,
there's conflicts
I have a
in
good
Camden.
recent highlight. Sorry, I have a really good recent highlight, actually. I discovered a board game place next to my house.
Woo!
A board game cafe.
What's it called?
Badger. It's like a restaurant, and then it has like a game room and tons of games and a game shop as well. So I'm gonna be broke very soon.
Cool.
Sorry for interrupting you, Bez. I just got very excited about that. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. And maybe if the price is all right, we can. Although, to be fair, it might be a bit nicer if we meet sort of halfway between us, if we were to meet up again. But
we have like a long distance relationship because we live on opposite sides of the city.
It's not so long distance, but if you want to meet up every day, it's a bit of a problem. But you can't meet up so easily. Nicholas Strachia got a present of Roots. That is fantastic. I hope that you enjoy that. I have been, as you might be aware, I've been enjoying the Steam version very much until it crashed on me on Monday. I was a bit disappointed by that. I just can't get it to load. I'm going to ask Chris to help me a wee bit with it today. When Chris comes over, say, hey, Chris, can you check my computer and see if you can make this work? But yeah, Roots, playing it in real life with Scrappy Kids, I just think it's a fantastic game as long as you enjoy exploring games. It's all about the joy of the exploration, of the learning, working out how the different factions work together. I hope you have lots of fun with it. Fantastic. Rita, is there anything that you would like to give a shout out to in terms of recent highlights?
Yeah, so I'm still on diet and I've lost 5 kilos, but you can't see it. I'm still looking fat here.
I mean, I don't know. I think you look pretty great.
I actually think you look like you lose weight. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but don't worry because cameras are never accurate. But I do have that impression, definitely. Great, congratulations! It's a tough feat to lose weight.
Yes, but I will still going on. So I want to lose 12 kilos.
Oh my! Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to do a lot of exercise and stuff like that, I suppose.
No, I just nothing to eat.
Oh my!
Well, that doesn't sound super healthy. I mean, you need to make sure that you are remaining.
I'm eating very, very less and a lot of good stuff. So I'm eating no sugar, no bread, no noodles for 3 weeks, and I'm feeling very good. I'm only eat vegetables and fruits. So yeah,
amazing.
Vegetables? Are you vegetarian or vegan?
I'm now a vegetarian
because of this diet.
Yeah, because of this diet. So I'm.
Well, that's good.
I'm nearly a vegan, but I'm still drinking milk and honey. these are my two things. That's why I'm not vegan. But now, at the moment, I'm a vegetarian.
Okay, well, that's really great.
Yes,
that's a good collateral.
Yeah, so I have to say, in Bavaria, we eat a lot of meat. Very lot of meat. So every day.
This is a big deal for a German person.
Yes.
In Bavaria.
Yes. So every day, my mom is cooking every day with meat. Except one day per week is the non meat day.
What do you eat in non-meat day then?
It's called Süßspeise, so something sweet. So like Kaiserschmarrn. I don't know if you know that, or Kaiserschmarrn. You don't know Kaiserschmarrn? You have to.
I have to go visit you.
Yeah, you have to visit me, Kaiserschmarrn. Oh my god! And the other thing is, so today we are not eating meat. We're eating fish. Yeah,
that sounds right.
Yeah. And of course, at the weekend there is
Bavaria. They're all about eating the dead animals.
Yeah, but we have the very happy animals, so they have to. Yeah, there are a lot of green stuff here where the cows are sleeping, and yeah. But my second highlight is this weekend there is a Göttingen game designers meeting online, and having a few appointments with publishers. So yeah,
nice. So my recent highlights. What did I do yesterday? This is the thing. Like, my life has just become all about streaming. That feels like what it is. I woke up yesterday at 10 a.m. I met Julia Schiller, a lovely person from over New Zealand. We talked about who Julia Schiller is, about mental health and games. That was nice. And then I did a bit of preparation for BBBB 400. And then I did some playful shenanigans. I streamed that, where I was playing Q-Birds. A fun game. I'm continuing to enjoy it. I might actually try and play it a few more times to become a regular player on Board Game Arena. And yeah, there seemed to be a bug in one of the games, but I really like the fact that you either win with 7 different flocks or with 3 different flocks that you have 2 each of, if you see what I mean. So it's kind of reminds me of Niagara. Have you played Niagara, Rita? The old Spiel des Jahres?
No.
Niagara is a really nice game, but I think it's a little bit too complicated and not enough randomness for what it is. In Niagara, you kind of push discs and they physically fall off the box. So for the time, it's very much like a toy, if you know what I mean. It's very fun to play with. But then it's too calculable. You can sort of plan a little bit too nicely. And the whole notion of this game is it's meant to be like, oh, what's happening? Our boats are falling off Niagara Falls and we need to try and get these gems. But anyway, I think that in that game where they had, I think, actually 3 different ways to win, which to my mind was ridiculous. And they just had these things to make sure that someone wins at the end of the game. But with Q-Birds, it works really well because Q-Birds is actually a somewhat strategic game. I then did some more preparation for my 400th morning stream, and then I played The Most Like a Pineapple with Joanne and Jessica Mederingham. And it was so much joy to play with Jess. I feel like Jess should have won, but I somehow managed to win. I don't know. But yeah, it was very close. And then I did some more preparation for my 400th morning stream, which is happening tomorrow. And because, as we've established, my life is all about streaming right now. Tomorrow, I know this is now going into the what am I up to tomorrow now, but I am so hyped, I cannot contain myself. I am just going to read out all these names. So, Calvin Wogged Saloon, writer, Ryan Estrada, comic person, Kirsten Lunde, designer, publisher, Lauren, amazing musician, joining me for some musical shenanigans early in the morning, Rory O'Connor, for Rory's Story Cubes, Jonathan Gilmore, best known for Dead of Winter, David King, lecturer, designer, Molly Zeff, cheese lover, although won't be joining, but will be joining me for some improv, Maisie Hatchard, English to Japanese translator, Senfung Lim, very prolific designer, Shem Phillips, New Zealand-based designer, Elaine from No Pun Included, media person, reviewer, Talita Ryan, Berlin-based designer, James Naylor, London-based designer. There's lots of designers here. Matt Warwick, podcaster, Eric Slauson, made Monstrosity, which is one of my favorite games of last year, even though maybe I didn't play as many as I would like. Joanne, lovely musician, lovely friend from streaming, Flavian Loisier, who's setting up a distribution channel for Gigamic and the rest of the Hachette group. Sarah Sales, game designer based in US. Grace Kendall, responsible for mentorship program. Mike Bonet, podcaster. Casey, who's a convention organizer, game cafe starter, designer, publisher, manufacturer. Casey does everything in Abuja, Nigeria. Just an amazing amount of stuff. Scott Moore, really knowledgeable and designer, translator. Uli Blenneman from Spielworks. Rob Harper, designer friends. Tobina Nwosu, poets and game teacher. Gil Hova, best known for the networks. Debbie Moynihan of Wise Wizards Games, marketing and chief operating officer. Fertessa, who has their first game up on Kickstarter just now. Julie Ahern from Greenbrier Games. Mike Nudd of Dice Hospital fame. Mark Cook of Aircon fame. Kathleen Mercury of On Board Games and teacher. David Murkutz, teacher, podcaster. Panic, streamer. Idol Michael, streamer and designer of Holding On, Troubled Life of Billy Kerr. Scrappy Kid, friend and streamer. Peter Hazelwood, publisher. Mill, who's like first-time designer, just lovely person. Tamia Farkas, who's a PhD student doing research into immersion. We've had some amazing conversations, and Tamia is one of my favorite peeps to chat with. Daniel Danzer, English to German translator. Maya Skripel, mother and designer. Ambi Valdez, podcaster, singer, musician. McCall, my ex-housemate. That sounds, but also a wonderful person. Janice Turner, from Wren Games. Jessica Medringham from Descent Games. Rita Modl, who's sitting right over there. Jason Hodgson, who works for me at many conventions until I started paying them to help me organize stuff. Isaac Vega also did Dead of Winter and a whole bunch of other games. Alan Paul from Surprise Terror Games. Scott Alden, who made Board Game Geek. Suzanne Sheldon, A Quarter of the Dice Tower. And also marketing project manager at Restoration Games. Heather Newton, Protospiel Online. Frank West, Isle of Cats, and just amazing person. Alex Cannon, running some improv, story time. Cardboard Kid, reviewer. Dominic Krapashets, who co-made, I should say, Whitson's Wagers, Say Anything, and Evolution. And of course, Eric Lang, who's this rock star of gaming. And I am so, so excited for all these people. And so these people will not all be coming at one time. These people will be spread out over 25 hours. So it will be from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. the next day.
You're streaming 24 hours.
25
hours.
How?
I don't know how the lack of sleep is going to affect me, but I am kind of being very careful about, what I eat. I'm allowing myself sugar and calories because I might need that to help me get through.
Course.
So I will start streaming. I will wake up quite late. I will wake up just in time to put on my clothes and, start streaming. And then I will start streaming, have an intro, and then people will join me, and then I will carry on. Maybe in the afternoon, I will actually do a bit of cooking. People can see me doing cooking whilst other people are chatting. And then I will have noodles with kimchi and bamboo shoots and water chestnuts. I've got it all in my cupboard. I'm excited. I'm going to be doing a bit of a stir fry.
Yeah.
Then, late at... I might have an evening snack. I'm not sure if I will or won't, but evening at midnight, I will definitely be having some cheese with Gil Hova, Shem Phillips, Eric Slauson, and Kirsten Lundad are all joining me to eat cheese.
Cool.
So we have to eat cheese. And I mean, if you're watching, if you don't eat cheese, I won't know. But don't make a big deal of it. Don't say like, ha ha, I'm here and I'm not even eating cheese. It's like, why would you do that? I will, and if there's any hate on cheese, I will time you out. I am going to literally give you a timeout. So no hate on the cheese. And then in the morning when it gets light, I am going to, be going outside again. I'm thinking to be outside. I will have my hula hoop to make sure that I'm getting up and doing some exercise. And then I will have some chocolate. At some point, I will open up my chocolates and I'll have all these different chocolates and I'll tell you all about it. And then I'm also going to have some special cereal muesli prepared. So, it's going to be a thing.
Tomorrow, everybody from the board game business will be on your stream.
Yes, and I think...
Yes.
Oh, we have... did you mean to do this? So, Dutch Yoda, you just added yourself for 4 a.m. UK time. Is that what you meant to do? I mean, if you want to be up with me at 4 a.m., then I would... Then cool, and you can join me and Jonathan Gilmore and Senfin Gliman for Tessa, but just want to make sure you're aware of the time that you chose. But hello, Xenofuel, it's lovely to see you, and I think we should probably go on to the next section because this has been the longest recent highlights ever.
Well, it's a long list.
Questionably quick questions. Where are you? What time is it? Tiz.
I'm in London. It is 10:22. Apparently sunny, but you never know here.
I think it is. Yep. Rita.
New Munich, it's 11:22 and it's also very sunny.
Okay, and here it is 10:22 and it is also beautiful. Okay, so if we have any questionably quick questions, then get them in right now within the next 30 seconds whilst we talk about brilliant thing, what's a little thing which is brilliant. You know what I'm going to say is brilliant is just scheduling technology. I don't mean Doodle in specific because other scheduling options do exist, but with this poll which Rita and Tiz and Dutch Yoda had access to, I'm able to say to people, hey, please sort it out yourself. I don't want to constantly have to tell how many is this minus 80. I think it's now 55, 50, 58. I think there's 58 people. I don't want to have to tell 58 different people, oh, this time is available, this time is available, just to have things automatically go on and off. And so automation in general, I'm just going to go with automation. Let's expand it. Automation. And robots doing things. If robots can do things that we don't enjoy, then brilliant. I'm all for it. What do you think of automation and robots, Tiz?
I actually think that you're right. I mean, that's the whole point of.
She's full of adrenaline.
Well, save it for tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Oh, I'm all good.
No, but I totally agree with you, Bez. In fact, I think that we are very slow in actually replacing all the things that humans just don't want to do. I think that if we do the things right, we are going to get to the stage where all the things that we don't want to do are going to be automated, and then humans can do whatever their heart is in calling for.
So I think it's also very, very good because it's not only making appointments with people, it's also people forget when were the appointments or something like that, and they can just watch on the list and see, hey, yeah.
I think literally everyone here is on Twitter except for 2 people on the list that I just said. So I tagged, yeah, you are one of them, Rita. And so for everyone else, it will be like, okay, I will schedule the tweets, and then people will see, okay, this person is meant to come in half an hour. So in case they forgot somehow, and hopefully they won't forget, they will at least be reminded, oh, I'm meant to be on in half an hour. I better get ready. But yes, I think that automation, reminders, brilliant things.
Yeah.
And so, of course, in the chat, feel free to ask questions as we get onto the main topic, which is game making with Tiz Creel and Rita Modl. A year on, and I'm still sometimes confused by the pointing. But yeah, so Rita, do you want? I think do we want to introduce ourselves? Like, Rita, you've got all this stuff going on. You used to work in photos. You've made a bunch of games, and you're high energy and a lovely person.
Oh, and I'm coming back in 1 minute.
Okay. So that is the introduction. So Tiz Creel is
the fastest introduction in the history of your show.
Yep. Are you still a student? No, you've graduated a while back.
I'm a student.
Recently she graduated. So yeah, you're a graduate. You make some street art, like literally on the street, not just on the walls, but literally on the street. And bouncy castles, and we worked together on Seize the Power, and then we chatted a bit, and Tiz is just a lovely soul, and we've had fun cycling together.
That is correct. That's a pretty good summary, actually.
Boom.
Of my recent life. But yeah, I do a lot of art. I like to introduce art in games, or games in art. Maybe games in art more likely. And yeah, I've been working on different games. 2 of them with you, Bez, and 1 with Rita, which is the same one, which is the one we're talking about today. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what's coming up, especially now that we might be allowed to meet, and hopefully we can reactivate our playtesting groups.
Yeah, I was talking with Ellie, who started meeting with David, and yeah, if you want to be there, then I'm sure that you would be very welcome, apparently. And hello, Andrew Gill. It is lovely to see you. Thank you for joining in. I am going to... Oh, guess someone's using the sink behind you, it is. But yeah, I thought that we would, once Rita comes back, catch up on this game and talk about it, and then decide what we want to do with it. Because fundamentally, I don't think it's a good idea to make games just because you've started making games. If you've started it, it's no reason to finish it. Sometimes saying, you know what, there's other things I could be doing with my time. There's many other ideas. Maybe this is not the best idea. It's not to say that I don't want to make games with either of you. And so Rita was saying it's not that I don't want to make games with either of you necessarily, but I think it's important to say, do we want to make this game not just because we started it? Do you know what I mean? Okay. I'll assume that that's yeah. So Rita, can you hear us okay? Okay, cool. Because you are currently muted still, just to let you know.
Oh, thank you.
So yes, do you want to quickly summarize, Tiz, how this all started?
It started in a wonderful design game jam, live and showcase to everybody, for everyone to watch. And it's a game that we've been working on fully live, for those who don't know, in this stream, more or less every week, on and off maybe, but
Every other week.
Every other week,
every fortnight. But yeah. And what it is you're rolling a bunch of dice. Let's see if is this no, that's this is it. There we go. So this is one of these sheets. You roll a bunch of dice, you draw little ingredients, which is either the fish, the veg, the meat, or the spice. And we had different scoring systems, but fundamentally we settled on one of them is fish times spice, one of them is meat times spice, one of them is veg times spice, and within each pie you also score the balance. So you get a number of points for every set of fish, meat, veg. Now, we decided that this was a fine game, but there was maybe a wee bit more to it, and we discovered that removing certain elements can still make the game interesting. So we were thinking some sort of, not legacy, but campaign game, starting off with the simplest version. And I think we've got a third game that, like, if there was like a 20 game sort of campaign, then, you know, game number 3 I'm quite happy with. But we want to think about what crazy things could be going on in game number 20. We've currently, the main systems is roll dice. The color of the dice represents what it is. The number on the dice represents how you collect it, and you play different cards which can collect all the odds, all the evens, all the big ones, all the small ones. Or from the second game, you'll get all of one kind, but only one kind that you choose. And later on, there might be one of each different thing. And all of one kind might give you a bonus wild card or something. But yeah, how are you generally... Let's just check in. How are we generally feeling about it, Tiz? Are you seeing a lot of potential in this game? And same question to Rita.
I mean, I definitely do. I think with some work, it could be a good game. Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy to work on it. To be honest, I'm not the. Yeah, I think it's working out. It's getting better, and that's exciting. But I'm also, of course, happy to hear your opinions, and I'm very flexible with these kind of things. You know what I mean?
Rita.
I think definitely it has something, because I play tested it a lot of times, and for starting roll and write with campaigns where you have to get more and more different pointing systems or something like that, it's very interesting. And as so what I have Vorschlag.
I don't know. Vorschlag. Nicholas, do you have no?
I just Google it. Vorschlag. Gibt's auch gar
Was
nicht.
ist Vorschlag in English?
Yes, I'm just Vorschlag.
I see it's as if I'm German.
Suggestion. Suggestion.
Oh, okay.
I have a suggestion. So as I said, on the weekend there is the Göttingen Spieleautoren, so I can show it to 1 or 2 publishers and just hearing the opinion of this game.
Nicholas suggested Jinx. Nicholas said proposal or suggestion. So it sounds like it's more of a formal thing than just a suggestion.
Suggestion or proposal.
Anyway, Yeah, like in theory, I'm totally down for that. I think the question is how much. Yeah, maybe you show them the early version that we have
Yes.
for like the early version of the campaign,
Yes.
and then talk about how it could mutate and ask what they think.
Yes.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about the names of those publishers privately, or is that something that you're?
You can choose. So let me see. So let me see.
Who is at Gottingham?
So I can show it to Cosmos.
I mean, if you know
Oh.
the buyers there, then no, that's a great company for sure.
Yeah, I have an appointment with Ravensburger. I have a Korea board game, Amigo, HCM Kienzl, Helvetic. So you can choose.
I don't know if it would fit into the Helvetic line, but then having said that, I think Hadi is quite interested in being experimental sometimes, which is interesting.
So I have to say I'm not I'm having to do a schedule which a prototype show I will show to some publishers, and I think I only can show 3 prototypes in half that hour the appointment is. So yeah, I don't know if everything fits, but tell me which one should I show it?
I mean, I would be most interesting out of that list. I would be most interested to hear from Cosmos, and that's someone that I personally wouldn't have been able to. Yeah, I've not personally met with them before, so it would be really interesting to hear their opinion. Whereas if we are in the same position,
this could really be interested to Cosmos, because I have a flip and ride, and it was an expert flip and ride, and they said no, that's too heavy, and they just published the Lost City roll and ride, and it's very easy. It's very easy.
I've not actually played. I've not even looked into that one. Yeah, but maybe I should.
It's a very easy roll and ride, and this is also a very easy roll and ride. So I think they're searching for very easy roll and rides. So,
and of course they are. We know that they can do. We know that they like things with envelopes, and you know, given there was another game about cities. In fact, a city that might have been my city. That was a terrible pun.
Yeah. And also Blätterrauschen, I don't know the English word. Letter floating. I don't know the English name for Blätterrauschen for the game from Cosmos.
I will look it up while you're talking.
And it's also very easy roll and ride. Yeah. So yeah. So I think this could be good. So I will show it to Cosmos.
Yeah, I found it on Board Game Geek. It doesn't seem to be translated yet. It came out in 2020. Roll and Write Through All 4 Seasons is what it says. There's 4 different themed game sheets with 4 different rules. Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting.
I will definitely have to check that out, and I will put that link into the comments in case everyone wants to follow along. Or indeed, if I want to look at it maybe on a future date, then I can just go to YouTube and pick all the comments.
But for that appointment, I need to write the rules down, the current rules. So because I have different letters here, and I'm not even remember which was the latest game we played.
Okay. Yes, I don't. So, as you might have thought, because you two were away for basically, you missed two things, so it was like you were away for 6 weeks, pretty much. But I think the first time I made some tweaks, and then I tried it, and it was good. Then I thought about it, and then the next time that I was on my own, I was like, okay, I'll just look at this. Yep, I don't want to do anything on my own until I see Tiz and Rita again. Okay, I'm just going to finish up early today. I can't remember what I did for the rest of that stream. But anyway, the point is that there might have been changes that you didn't even play. Do you have the sheets on you?
So I think this was the current sheet, the small one, and the two.
There we go.
The small one and two of the same. Is that correct? Or
no?
The last one I played, yes, it was like that. It was two the same, two mediums and
yeah.
No,
So I have also this, but
Okay.
then we had the problem that the big point is getting in the big one, and so on. So I think this was our latest. Could it be?
I remember that.
Show the other one again for a sec. Keep that up on screen.
Yeah, my last recollection, at least last time I was in the stream, we had a confusion about using the two big ones or two medium ones, because you had the sheet with the two medium ones, and I think we made the big ones or something like that.
What I played with was it was halfway between the two. So you've got a 3x3, which should be the smallest one. You've got a 3x4, which that's the next step up. But the 4x4 is the third one.
Okay. So I have to
3x3, 3x4, 4x4.
Okay, so I have to do the sheet new. A new sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. So so this is, so it's like this, correct?
It's like that. That's just the way it is.
I just wanted to sing it too. So it's this, correct?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
I told you it's like that. It's just the way it is. Okay. The dice are the same. For game number 1, I think it's very important. For game number 1, we only have the four things. 4 dinosaurs.
4 dinosaurs. Okay, 4 dinosaurs.
For game number 1, big, small, odd, and even. But that is just for game number 1, which is almost like a tutorial. For showing it to the publisher, I think you should show the next game, which also adds one of any. Different dino.
Different dino, yes. But for the first game, there we had 3 red, 2 veggie, 2 yellow, and 1 fish. Is that correct?
Yes.
So this.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Are you writing down notes so that you can?
I'm writing down notes. Yes.
Okay. I'm actually double checking how many scoring modifiers.
And the scoring points was, I think it was this one. So we had.
So let me. Tiz. So Tiz, you can maybe add rules at the bottom. So yes, that is correct.
Fish. So choose 1 pie, fish with curry, veggie with curry, meat with curry. In every pie, every set of fish, meat, and veggie is 10 points.
Yes. But I think it's important that the fish, veg, and meats have to be 3 different pies. So you can't choose the big pie to be more than one thing. Because otherwise it is easy to put lots of spice into big pie and then balance out the other 2 pies, and that's not so interesting. For the wild cards, I think that what I decided is that you don't even need wild cards. This is a bit of a big change. I wanted to see how you felt about it, but I am not sure that when I was playing it solo, it was either 2 times through or 3 times through. But I think once you are this many times through the deck, then each time you pick up your cards, you get 1 wild, and that is where you get the wild. So everyone gets the wild at the same time. And I know that that removes the little bits of interaction, but what it also does is it makes it very easy to then make it into a solo game as well, if you know what I mean.
So when do we get a wild?
When you pick up your cards.
Ah.
And that's what I'm thinking. I do quite like the, if you're different from other people, you get a wild, but it felt like that was maybe not the best for this game, especially if you want to add more dinosaurs. It doesn't work with that, and it felt like...
The problem why we did that was that if you don't have something which you have where you want to play something else with somebody, everybody could do the same pie and everybody has the same points at the end. This was the problem. So I think this is an important thing.
I mean, it was more of a theoretical problem. It never actually happened. So I would be more inclined to say, let's not do it for now, but this is something we can bring back later to if we see that everyone is really doing the same, because everyone doing the same is a problem in so many different games. I mean, number 9, no one really worries about number 9. Everyone could do the same, and yes, you could, but you probably aren't going to, because people want to be different. Some people want to be unique, and people think differently. For the and then this is like for the second, like third game, whatever. And again, for the campaign, I think it should be important that the envelopes say, when you are ready, open the next one. Because for me, don't get me wrong, I had, at least one employee of Cosmos look at my video, and I said, I enjoyed the game, I enjoyed it very much, but for me, I would like it if it can be, when you find the type of game you enjoy, maybe you like game number 9 in My City, but then you can't keep playing that. And I think that's a kind of shortcoming. I think it's a bit of a shame that you can't be like, oh, that game number 9, that was really cool. I want to keep playing that.
Yeah.
But with this, I think it should just be play it. If you understand it, and if you feel like you want more complexity, then open up the next envelope. And some gamers might open up envelope number 1 after their first game. Whereas if my family was playing, they might even play that very first game 5 times before they're like, okay, now we will open up the next envelope to get the injection of whatever. But yeah, that's basically it. And no awards for... I'm not, again, because I was playing it on my own, when you weren't here, I just didn't bother with the awards for first or second or anything like that. We could have some sorts of things for that later on.
So what we really can do, you can also have a solo modus And in the solo modus, whenever you pick up your cards, you get a free ingredient.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's the same as multiplayer. And hello, Alex. It is lovely to see you. We are working on Dinosaurs Love Spicy Pies.
Okay, so for the second scenario, do we have the same dice?
What I described is the second scenario.
Okay.
So the first scenario, like each scenario doesn't have to change that much. Like first scenario, it's just like that, but with only 4 dinosaurs.
Yeah, okay.
Second scenario, it has the 5th dinosaur, and that's it.
Okay.
So very small addition. And then...
So...
Yeah, shall we go over the Google Drive that I don't know if you've had a proper look at this, Rita, and we can talk through some of the ideas that popped up over the last month on my show? Okay, so...
So we are now in scenario 3, is that correct?
Now we're on scenario, I don't know, like, now I'm thinking about scenario 20, like the end of the game.
Okay.
And we can... I mean, I think that's the important thing, that we have some exciting ideas for the end of it. Like, there should be some really interesting things going on by the end. And so, yes. Okay, so... Oh, deck of ingredients. Where's the deck of ingredients? Okay, so firstly, new dinosaurs. A dinosaur that lets you take only 1 number, but also lets you take 1 wild. That was what you suggested, Rita, because... it is a bit underpowered, but then if you get also wild, that's fine.
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
Let's see. Can I just...
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Does this work?
Okay.
That kind of broke up all the... Oh, hopefully that works. Weird. What happened? Oh, new dinosaurs. Okay, so yeah, dinosaurs that multiplies anything it takes. So what I was thinking is it just takes it only takes all the 4s, for example, but anything it takes double of it, if you know what I mean. That could be interesting. Alex suggested take 2 dice or 2 groups of dice that add up to 7. This was a really interesting idea, I thought. So you can take the 1 and the 6, or you can take the 2 and the 5, or the 3 and the 4.
Yeah.
We had some questions. So should repeated dinosaurs exist? Rita, I mean, Tiz votes for no. What do you think, Rita? And yeah, obviously,
what is repeated?
Like, because everyone has a small deck of dinosaurs. Let's say later on in the game, you have 2 dinosaurs that are exactly the same. Is that interesting, or is that totally boring? And we should not do it.
Oh, that everybody has the same dinosaurs.
Oh, sure. Everyone has the same dinosaurs for sure. But I mean, let's say if you have a second odd dinosaur. So or you have a second... this one, the dino card that lets you take only not 1 number, but also lets you take 1 wild. If we really want to push people into using that one, then if we have 2 of them, then people will be forced to use at least 1 of them during the play.
Yes, why not? But okay, but every card is 1. Is 1 still.
So you think that you should only have 1 of each card?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Yes.
We are all agreed on that, so I will delete that. Yep, we agreed. No. And we were... Another idea from chat was that dinosaurs maybe have attributes. So, like, they could be herbivore or carnivore. And maybe later on, there's, like, some sort of thing. Like, maybe if you play differently, to what you played last turn, you get a small bonus. Or maybe if you play two all of one kind, then you get a bonus. I don't know, something like that. Or maybe, yeah, there could be something that, like, if we tag it, then we could have it. And a quick hello to Time Roller. Thank you for joining in. And hello to Keys. Yes, we are making a game all about dinosaurs and deciding whether to carry on. And thank you very much to both of you for joining in. We're not writing rules currently. I think that, Rita, you have enough notes to write down the rules like tomorrow and within the next couple of days, right?
In German, yes.
For game number 3. But we are now discussing what game number 20 should be like, because this is going to be an epic campaign, and it will be like lots of little envelopes, and it's like, oh, I like this, but I'm getting a bit, now I want something new. Boop, next envelope. Oh, that's a new thing. Okay, I played this, and whenever you want new excitement, you open up a new envelope. Boom, new envelope.
So actually, I would not put so many dinos in the box, because for every player you need for every player you need the sets of the dinosaurs.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if we have
8,
okay,
9, 8.
9 seems, and also you don't want to have too many, because otherwise it gets to be a head complication.
Yeah.
How many players do we want to have for this out of the box? 6?
Yeah.
1 to 6 is a very good player count. What's 54 divided by 6? That's 9? Yep, 9. I think 9 dinosaurs seems like a good number.
So 4 more to go.
Maximum. We don't need to have that many.
Yeah.
We could also have a reference card if we want. So, yeah, which ones have we got? So
I think we can also put the thing that if you play another card as your neighbor, you're getting a free ingredient. It could be one scenario. And we can also write down, if you want to keep this style, you can play all the other scenarios with this style.
I mean, why is Alex saying 48? Why is... That's not right. That's... I don't understand how 48 correlates anything. But I would say that let's make them very creative. If we say you can do this or not for future scenarios, and then there's another modifier, you can do this or not for future scenarios. I like the idea more that it's sort of a journey. So things come and then things maybe go. And I am going to be honest, I am very much inspired by my city, because I do like the fact that, especially if you could have lingered on there, I like the fact that for 1 or 2 scenarios, it was like, you cannot even say no. There is no opportunity to say no. And then, yeah, that's like a new twist. And then you play it with that twist, and then afterwards you go back to the old method. But I think there's something nice about saying, hey, and within each envelope, maybe there's a little reference card that says, by the way, if you want to set up this game, just as a reminder, here is everything in this stage. So if you want to play it later on, you can. So if you want to play it with more beginners, you can go backwards even. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nicholas says, card variety from 9 dinosaurs, and then other levels could add a new die. And then the other thing, like...
No, we want to, in other scenarios, we want to put a die away. So we don't want to get new die. we are getting the red one away, or two red ones away. So then veggie is now very important, and so on.
So that brings me to the ingredients text. But let's assume that if we have attributes on the dinosaurs, like let's say on the dinosaur it says this is a herbivore, this is a carnivore, people don't have to worry about what that even means at the start. But maybe in scenario 10, it now says, okay, you need to play these certain combinations, and then you...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Alex is suggesting 1 to 48 players out of the box. It's the only way to satisfy the modern Kickstarter audience. Such a troll, Alex, such a troll.
He's not wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Would you want to have a stage add some kind of negative effect? Yes, absolutely, because yes, this is also what I was thinking, that as we go through, we need to have stuff taken away. So firstly, we had this idea, all the dice that you do not use go to your storage room, or it could be a collective disposal, and one dino is able to go to the storage to grab the ingredients you did not use. I think that was Tiz's idea. Anyway, but
yeah,
that could be like a little thing that maybe you draw them on the side.
I was thinking it could be like another dinosaur, like a dinosaur that is in charge of like the waste or the storage, or I mean, I don't know.
So we have to put in here a storage place?
Potentially,
yeah, or you just keep
we need to decide. Like, it could even be a blank parts of it that people are like, oh, that's just a blank bit of the paper. But then later on, it becomes, oh, this blank bit of the paper, this is where you draw these things. And then once during the game, you can...
Yeah, of course, I can put them now here, because I have space now. So, how many, the dinosaurs, how many ingredients could it storage?
I don't know, maybe every turn you choose any of the things. I don't know. I hadn't worked out the details, to be honest. It's like so many possibilities. So, okay,
I make four storage places.
Alex suggests maybe you can only play a carnivore after a herbivore card. So, yeah. Although if you've played all your herbivores, then I think something that you must do that leaves you in a situation where you can't play any of your cards isn't the best, but something that gives you either a bonus or a penalty if you don't do it. Like if you play a carnivore after a carnivore, then you can't pick up meat. Something like that, because the carnivores fight after the meat. I don't know, it could be like, okay, now things have changed and meat is becoming scarce. If you play carnivore after carnivore, they will fight over the meat. And so don't do that. Because
so all dinos get vegetarians.
That's the easy way.
So, and for the storage dino, wasn't it a baby dino because he couldn't go out and he has to keep the things in the storage?
But then we went for small, and then we changed the attribute. But we can just make some dino research and
find an egg, a dino egg with a new dino.
Oh. You could have make your own dino bits, like some sort of. But I wanted to so this deck of ingredients idea from Designer Cardboard I felt was really interesting. So if you have, let's say, as well as the dice, you also have some cards, and maybe you have 12 cards, and you're going to flip through all of them. And this turn it shows you get fish as a 6. That is just what the card says. So no matter what, there is fish as a 6. And if you pick up fish,
I have an idea just now coming. So for one scenario,
Okay.
We take, I don't know, 5, all the all the dinosaurs, and we mix them, and then everybody has to draft a dinosaur.
Interesting. So rather than everyone getting exactly the same thing,
Yeah.
everyone's drafting.
Yeah.
So you can get 2 dinos of the same in that case, for example.
Yes. Could be good, could be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's symmetrical desires, I mean, because there's so many of each type, it might be that everyone just still ends up with one of each type, though. But Alex is... I don't know if Alex is excited by the burnt pie or the draft, but I like the idea of a draft. I'm just wondering how we can make it work by... Like, maybe it's not even the dinosaurs that you draft. Maybe it's some sort of bonus scoring that you draft. What if there are some bonus scoring things? Like, you know, this time you get... One of the bonus things is you get 11 points per set. One of them is you add 10 if you've got this specific objective. Ooh. So yeah, we were thinking of objectives. What if the objectives come out in previous things, and then rather than the same objective being for everyone kind of drafts the objectives, like the hoops to jump through, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
I don't understand what you were saying.
Okay, so let me flick up. Okay, so scoring hoops. There we go. So let's actually go back to the Google documents. Oh yeah, so firstly, we were thinking about just making it a wee bit different later on. Maybe you have some starting ingredients. For example, you start with a spice in every pie, or you start with 8 fish in the big pie. That's probably not the best idea, but something like that. But then what if you have 25 points if you finish the big pie before placing any other ingredients? Or you have some number of points if the big pie has no meat, or you have some number of points if the small pie has no fish. And
yes,
then
it's also very good.
If we had these kinds of objectives, so like one stage is this one, then the next stage it says take that one away, now you have to do this.
Yes.
Okay, next stage is take that one away, do this. And then towards the end, it's like, okay, these are all the possible ways to get even more bonus points from these cards. Now we have maybe 7 of them for 6 players. Now with these 7 possible objectives or starting conditions, then you have to all draft them. So rather than drafting your hand of dinosaurs, you drafted objectives. That could work.
Yeah. So I have another reason for a dino.
For drafting dinos, you mean? Oh, you mean another type of dino?
Another type of dino.
Cool.
And it's the T-Rex.
Okay.
And the T-Rex is choosing is getting one color or something like that, but he's also making he's eating one dice for itself and put it away. So normally we say the dinos are running out.
Bye, Andrew.
Normally we are say the story is we are the dinos are going outside and bringing us those ingredients back. But the T-Rex is first he's watching and then he's eating one for itself. So it's a way also for the other game players, and then he picks one color or something like that. So a very mean dinosaur.
Sorry, I was just distracted by Andrew, who's heading off, and just saying goodbye to Andrew. Could you forgive me? And also, well,
Should I repeat that?
reiterate. Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. So normally the story is we are the dinosaurs are going outside and bringing us those ingredients where we cake the pie. But the T-Rex is going outside and then he's eating one of them and it's away for itself. And then he's choosing one color. And those bring us back. So he's destroying one die for the other players.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a very mean dinosaur, but it's the T-Rex.
I mean, I guess the question is very much how
so
much
he's
interaction do
he's
have?
destroying it for one round, not
The game.
Not the game, for one round.
Destroying it for the game might actually be more interesting. Because...
Okay.
Although then, no, because if you have 6 players, then that means that 6 dice are going to be destroyed. That's a terrible idea.
Maybe we can have dinos.
Over. Then the game is over.
No, that changes one.
Yeah, this is very weird. Yeah.
I was going to suggest that if we have like a series of dinos that are like the base of everybody else, so everybody has the same dinos, but there might be a few dinos that are like wild cards and you can only use one in the entire game or something like that. And then maybe the T-Rex can be only one. And not all the players have it. It's just randomly everybody is going to have like a secret dino or something like that. It could be, I mean, I don't know if it's going to work with the campaign thing, but maybe dinos that you don't like, special dinos that only appear maybe on certain campaigns in the envelope of
like dinos could potentially go away. I mean,
yeah.
I do wonder, maybe it could be that, again, this could be an attribute. So you have the T-Rex earlier, but the T-Rex has a, just, it's carnivore and it's very big. And, oh, Alex says maybe swap a die with one from a different pool. That's very interesting.
That could
How
be
many
like
dice
a
do we
bird
have
like.
currently? 3, 2, 2, 1, right? 8. How many dice could we like if we had, I'm just thinking, what if in one of the scenarios the dinosaurs swap the fish and the veg for the meat as the game goes on? That would be kind of interesting, because then at the start of the game there is more fish and veg, but then at the end of the game, or maybe it should go the other way to represent meat running out. Thoughts?
Tiz.
Why are you not saying anything?
Me?
I'm waiting for Tiz.
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
I was just waiting for either of you to say something. This is the
I'm waiting for
problem.
Tiz.
No, I was just thinking. So I really have nothing to articulate at the moment. But yeah, I'm thinking about like kamikaze style dino or something like that. That could be this thing about removing dice permanently or changing dice. I do believe that it has to be like one-off. But I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, really. I mean, Rita, please.
No, that's perfect. I think that's a willingness to think out loud is ideally what we want. I think that what I'm thinking is that player take that is something that we need to be very careful about. I mean, I'm more keen on moving away from player interaction rather than giving it loads and loads. But
why is that? If I
from why am I against it? I'm against it because with less player interaction, we can more easily make it playable for any number. So, whether I am thinking that this currently feels like a game that plays very well, whether it's 1 player or 100 players, it makes no difference. And I think that that is a solid quality of games to have that, to have a true multiplayer solitaire game where, like Bingo, like Number 9, like Take It Easy, all of these games have or I should say one of my own games, like Micro Muckle, all of these games have the advantage that whether you're playing a 1-player game or a 100-player game, at least, up to 6 players, even if not 100 players, but like at least up to 6 players, it's basically the same experience. And I think there's something very nice about that. Let's look at what Nicholas is saying. I was thinking of something like a black burnt pie die. If you take dice with the same value or adding to that value, you burn 1 square of the pie. Not a minus point yet, just can't use that space. But if you get too many, you do get minus points. Add some risk in pushing that decision. That's interesting. So, like, yeah, and that could even be one of the cards. Like, if you take anything of this number, it's burnt. That sounds interesting. I'm going to actually... What do you think of this, Rita Tiz?
I think it's very interesting. Yeah, and I think it's possibly like a twist on the kamikaze kind of thing that we're trying to create if we want that to be playable by all types, all numbers.
And hello, Scrappy Kid.
And Rita was like, no, I don't like it. I'm out.
No, I think it's many different schemes. Actually, I think you might be right. There are 5 different copies. I guess that is 5 different languages. But we will have to ask Rita afterwards. And Alex says, maybe the dice destruction card goes only to 1 player. Ooh, maybe the dice destruction card... Yeah, that could be like one of the special powers when you're destroying it.
Or maybe that special power can be activated by doing something, and it can only be activated once. So instead of being a dino, it's something that perhaps you can allow your dino to do with a particular condition. And then it doesn't have to be another dino. And it's just something that could happen in a particular scenario, or it could happen throughout the game anytime, and it can only happen once.
Yeah. Not sure. I'm assuming that Rita has had a call of nature, but I think that we've not been through all of these things. What I would like to do is to finish, you and make sure that you and Rita are caught up with all of this. I feel like there feels, okay, at the bottom it says, today we're going to decide if we're going to carry on. And I think there are a lot of ideas that fit into this framework that we've decided. I feel like it's a good, solid framework, and it's worth us exploring more things. I think that it would be really valuable if potentially all of us went off and tested different things or made different prototypes. If, I know Rita has playtesting opportunities these days. I don't know if that's something that you have, Tiz, at all.
I don't have it all, but I'm hoping that that I can start joining playtesting groups now that things are getting better. And people are getting vaccinated and so on and so forth. So I think that it's a possibility. I'm also want to get involved with the board game cafe that just opened 1 minute away from my flat. So definitely there's a lot of opportunities. It's just they're not, I guess, precisely there yet, but they will be very soon. I'm quite confident.
And Nicholas says, regarding the destruction of everything, how about a bunch of asteroids falling down on game 20? You need to save the pie dinos. Or in order to survive the meteor, you have to collectively build a huge pie to shelter inside. Yeah. Rita, you are muted, just to let you know.
Yeah. Oh, what a nice idea.
I think I was saying to Tiz, I think I want a wee bit of a break from this for a few weeks, but there are 3 of us, and I think what I would like to do today is to quickly go through the things, make sure that we're on broadly the same page, and then all of us can kind of come up with individual crazy ideas. As long as we're settled on game number 2, then, you know, having crazy things for game number 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever is a really nice thing.
Yeah. So what I would do today is I'm making a new plan and send it to you so that you can look at it.
I will not have the energy to do anything between now and the end between now and Saturday. I will not have the energy to do anything which is not related to my streaming.
Tiz, didn't you make some drawings?
Tiz, you're muted.
Didn't I share it with you guys? The PNGs. If not, I'm happy to share them with you. But I would need to kind of know if there's any, because I think the dinos are fine. But sorry, I just got possessed for a second. But these the goals and all that are gonna be different, or are different from, I think, what I originally did, or like the pies that we need to complete. So yeah, I would need to know if I have to redo something or modify something.
So did you have some drawings of the dinos? No.
Yeah.
Oh, did you send that to me so that I could put it on the cards? So these are now the old ones?
I have a recollection that I did, but I could have not. So I'll just send them to you again.
Okay, thank you. So I will put on the dinos on the card. So okay, cool.
I am making a folder in my Google Drive, and I'm just going to Rita Modl, your Hotmail address. I'm going to use that, Rita. And Tiz at Gmail.
This is so weird. I'm having this Hotmail address since I was 18 or 19, as it said, Rita Modl 18.
Yep, it does.
Yes, and it's still
now everyone knows your email address.
It's on the internet. It's okay, but
cool.
It's so weird because I always want to change it, but
everyone email Rita and tell Rita how amazing she is. Yeah, send all your nice messages to Rita.
I always want to change it, but I have so many things for this email. I can't change it. So it's over 15 years I got this email, so I can't change it. So
Yeah, that's the nature. You need to
understand.
think carefully when you're making email addresses.
yeah.
You know, you can make like another email address that you use just like for certain specific things, and then you
Yes,
can
I
migrate slowly.
have 3 email addresses. But yeah, but the Hotmail address is still my favorite. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not going to say every email address I have, but I've got 4, 5. Yeah, I've got 5 email addresses, but 4 of one of them I started for Kickstarter, but now that's
Yeah.
too full, and I need to delete all the messages because it says that messages don't get bounced back because it's now full.
Yeah.
One of them was my very old email address that's now pretty much full. One of them has my real name, and that's pretty much full. One of them's stuffbybez@gmail.com. I try to keep that as empty as I can. It only has 400 unread emails in it so currently. So, but that's a lot more than I would have liked. I would ideally like one place where it's just, okay, let's just get rid of this stuff, but I'm not very good at. Anyway, so let me pop this up. So those are Tiz's graphics that I'm looking at, and yeah, we can. It doesn't really.
What?
But that's a while back. Dinosaurs love spicy pies. Where's my?
Yeah, I'm gonna add it to the. Yeah, I'm gonna add them to there because I did my own folder.
So if we look at the file, there's links, and then you can see it's on your thing anyway. So.
Oh, okay.
There's the link to your thing anyway. You don't need to move them over, but let's, if we can, maybe go through here, and Alex, maybe you want to see. Do you want to see more of them? So there's that Rita. That is quite classy. It's kind of quite bloody as well. Oh, I like this one.
Because we wanted to make them scary, but they turned it out to be quite cute.
It's quite the creepy meat pie.
I might remake the entire aesthetics later on.
Well, yeah, that is all the graphics that Tiz did. Scary cute.
Yeah, I don't know.
And, yep. Fish, dead fish, and fish pie. There we go. Fish pie, fishy, fishy, fish pie. And so,
Vegy.
Where was I looking? Oh yeah, tier. Okay, so firstly, deck of ingredients. Let me go through this stuff vaguely in the order that makes sense. So starting ingredients, like that sounds like it will be a very easy way to add a little bit of difference. If we don't have to be so dramatic, but starting with 4 fish and a big pie might make it quite interesting. What do you do with this? That's now a new puzzle to think about. And maybe there's a few different things. Yeah, modifiers. This was an idea. I don't know if this is something we should do for the dinosaur, or maybe a card to be played alongside the dinosaurs. Something that you use once during the entire game, and it says, okay, if this dinosaur places 1 ingredient into each pie, something that the dinosaur does differently, if you know what I mean. So this turn, rather than placing everything into 1 pie, you can mix it up, because this turn there is differences, some sort of advantage. Do you get what I mean? So like this would be a different deck, and you play these cards only once in the game. Then the events deck, I talked about deck of ingredients, which I thought this would be interesting if we have, okay, this turn, and it can eliminate a bit of the randomness, but also add variants from turn to turn. So for example, this turn there are 3 fish on 4. There's 3 fish on number 6, and you know that that's going to come up at some point. probably, and you plan around for that. Maybe if there's going to be 12 turns, maybe there's 14 cards, and these 14 cards, you see almost all of them, something like that. And then sometimes it's just, okay, this ingredient appears here, this ingredient appears here. Maybe it says a certain number is removed, so the most prevalent number removed. If you have whichever dice you have the most of, that gets removed from this turn. This would be kind of interesting. Shout out what you're thinking, Rita. Or Tiz. Yeah, event cards maybe affecting the dinosaurs played. Maybe it says this turn you can only take 2 dice or something like that. And then, yeah, as we go through the game, I was thinking that the whole notion of we go this many times through the deck is a really nice way to do it. It's really neat. But as we get more dinosaurs, it's going to take too long. And I wonder if we want to say, as we get our 7th dinosaur, maybe you start the game and you choose a certain number of them. I don't know.
I want to say so.
And yes, Scrappy Kid, it has pies and dinosaurs. Sorry, Rita, carry on.
The idea of, so this round, you can only choose 2 dice is very interesting. As you can put themes on the scenarios, and this could be, it's a hunger time, I don't know, it's a desert time, I don't know what's the English word. So for each scenario we have an over sentence, like in the crew.
Oh, you mean like a bit of flavor text?
Yeah, a short flavor text.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this could be very, very interesting. You can only pick 2 die. This is for one scenario, it's very cool. A draw, yes. Oh, Nicholas, you're so good.
Yeah, Nicholas is.
Maybe it could be, the scenario could be like a lack of, I don't know how to say in English, but that time when there is not enough rain and therefore there's not enough like food produced back in the day, where we didn't have the technology for greenhouses, of course, and all that. There's kind of like a word that refers to kind of the lack of food in a community, because the conditions are not allowing for that to happen. Sequía is in Spanish. Let me Google it. But anyways, I think the 2 dice scenario could be themed as something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, famine suggests Alex as a good word.
Yeah. This is the word I put it there. Drought?
Yep, drought. That's what Nicholas said. So let's look at the bottom where. Okay, so you've got. Yep, only 4 dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are mixed and people have to draft. Play with the same dino. Okay, there's lots of random bits coming up. I think that I am happy personally to, if you 2 are okay with this, to say I would like to remove myself from this for a few weeks. For the next 3 weeks or so, I really have to focus personally. My primary focus has to be finishing off Categorical. Once I go into my streaming break, because I will be still streaming 1 day a week, I said that the things I want to do are firstly tidy my room, secondly finish categorical, and thirdly, go out and do stuff that for my own mental health and whatnot. I'm not going to suddenly be like, oh my gosh, 12 hours a day, I need to work on categorical. That I'm not a robot, I can't do that. But
Okay,
yeah,
so
I feel like right now I would like, if possible, to take a back seat on it for maybe 4 weeks or so and have you to, if you understand all the rules, Rita, and are able to write them down and test them out, and if you two are able to try out some crazy scenarios, then I think that would be useful. Then you two can meet up, because I know early on, I think there was at least one time you met up when I wasn't there. You can always do it again. And
so so if I don't know if I only show it to Cosmos or also to another publisher. It depends on how long I have the appointment, and from some publishers I think I have 1 hour, but mostly I have half an hour. So it could be that I show it to more than one publisher. So if someone is interested, what should we do? Should we just make 5 scenarios and send it to it and said, okay, here's a starting scenario, but we have up to 20 scenario, but they're not finished yet? Or how should I communicate?
I mean, I think at this point, I would suggest that it's still
work in progress.
This is a very early thing. This is the framework. That's what we're going to do. Is this something that you would potentially like to see? What would you like to see from it? I think that getting wee bits of input from the publishers, if we can, would be ideal. And I would say let's not rush to send you know, a whole bunch of scenarios. I think this could be
all in a box. Here.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
You test it and then tell me what.
But I think the key thing is that that game too, if they're not interested in it, if they don't think that that itself is an interesting game, and maybe you say a couple of the things that can be done, then, you know, they're not interested in it, and that itself is useful information. If there are publishers that are, then we can continue working on it, see what if their guidance. But yeah, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
I wanted to ask. Oh, sorry, really fast. When is the event?
On
This
Saturday,
weekend.
Saturday and Sunday. I have the most appointments on Saturday, and also a few on Sunday. So I will for the appointment, I will show the current letter and the five starter dinos, and I tell the first and the second scenario. I tell how it works, and then I can say, so we have up to 20 scenarios with new dinosaurs, with new scoring systems. So that's it. That's every scenario is different. That's what I would do on Saturday. Is that okay?
Yeah, for sure. If you need me to help you with other graphics or to write the rules in English, I'm happy to.
No, they are all German publishers. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Can you, Rita, can you quickly, just before we finish up, can you go over your notes for the rules?
Yeah. So.
And let me actually make you bigger. Yep, 4x4 for the last one. Yep.
Yeah. And we have the starting 4 dinosaurs, big, small, odd, even. And we have the 8 dice. And we have this counting system. So fish with curry, veggie with curry, meat with curry, and in 3 different pies.
Yep.
And in every pie set of the 3 things, 10 points. And you will get a white if you pick up your cards. And you can, so you choose the die, but you don't have to put all of the stuff. And you have to put it in one pie. Yeah. And you're playing until you have 1 card left, and then you picking your card up, and then you're getting 1 free ingredient. This is the first scenario. The second scenario,
and if you play it solo yourself, you can check. I think it's either 2 or 3 times. You go through with the 5 dinosaurs. I think or even 4 dinosaurs. I think going through 2 or 3 times was perfect. I think it was 3, but I need to double check. But if you play it solo, you will quickly realize.
Okay. And the second scenario is the same, but with the 5th dinosaur, the different one. And hello? And yeah, and we have another scenario where we put 1 red die away. And scenarios where we draft cards, and scenarios where something has to be in 1 pie or something like that, and scenarios where we only can pick 1 die, 2 dice, where we only can pick 2 dice. And we have a lot of more dinosaurs, like the baby dino, which can storage things, or the other on the schedule. I forgot. Yeah, and I think that would be enough for the appointment, as I'm showing how it works. So I'm playing it 2 rounds and showing it how it works. And so I think that's even enough for the appointment. The appointment should be not longer than 8 minutes. So the pitch for this game, not more than 8 minutes. So
yeah, I think maybe having like a few, not just like a few ideas of how progressively it's going to change would be a good thing to define. Maybe based on the things that we've been discussing now, just in case that they ask you.
Yeah.
I think this is a thing that would also be interesting if there's the possibility of feeling out how would publishers like it to progress, get that feedback. I did some very quick maths while you were talking, and it is definitely 3 times through the deck. So whether you're 1 player or whatever number of players, it's 1 times through the deck, and so you get 3 times through the deck, and so you get 3 wild cards in total during the course of the game. And at the end, when you pick up all your cards, right at the end, even though you're not playing them again, you get your 3rd wild cards at the end.
And for the first things, so it's a flip and write. It's a scenario it's a scenario roll and write from 1 to 6 players. From 8 years? Yeah. From 8 years? And it takes 20 minutes. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, I think...
maybe a bit longer, I would say.
I don't know. It depends how you're. I was thinking a bit shorter in real life, but 20 minutes sounds good in that case. If you're thinking longer, I'm thinking shorter. Let's go with 20.
Okay, so I have all the information I have, but I also write it down, and I make the cards new with the new drawings, and I will do that today or tomorrow, because Friday I have no time. So.
Yes, that will be great. And let us know privately, if you can, how all the things went, maybe on Facebook, or should we start doing stuff on email because it might be easier to keep track of stuff and search for it? I don't know what you two think.
I don't
'Cause, I
care. I
mean-
have both on my mobile phone, and this is the most important thing, that I can always watch it. So
Because
I
with
don't.
Facebook, with Facebook, if anyone wants to contact me, by the way, anyone watching, also, Facebook alerts are the only thing. Facebook and WhatsApp and obviously actual phone, those are the only things that my phone will tell me about straight away.
Yeah.
But email is a little bit harder to search. I mean, easier to search. Facebook is harder to search. Email is easier to search. I'm getting confused. I'm getting distracted. I think I will be very interested to hear how it goes on. And yeah, hopefully we can, if we can sort of meet up and have, a bunch of ideas for different things at some points in the future, that would be good.
Yeah.
I think
I can.
Tiz.
Yeah, I was going to say I can maybe think about possible scenarios, thinking that maybe like the some of the stuff that you suggested, like the variables, the modifiers, the events, decks, and all that, it kind of is part of the scenarios in a way. So it could really just apply to certain scenarios. So we can integrate that as part of, I don't know. And yeah, I can just start thinking
You don't
about
want to
ideas.
add too many components that go away just for one scenario, I don't think. Like if it's here's an entire event deck, once we introduce the event deck and these turns more things, I think something like that should stay for a while. But I think there's got to be a balance of sometimes things stay, sometimes things go away, maybe sometimes things come back. I mean, once we've got everything that there can be, I think first stage is this a good framework? Are publishers interested in the general idea?
Yeah.
Second, what are the overall ideas we can think of that work well within this framework?
Yeah.
And thirdly, then look at the entire flow, not just within each different game, but yes, let's make up 20 different games that are broadly increasing in complexity, but also maybe after game number 5, it doesn't really increase, it just changes or whatever.
Fluctuates.
Pardon?
Fluctuates, I said.
Fluctuates, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And lots of love, Alex. Sorry about your connection issues, lots of love. But no, I think there's a lot of potential to make something really nice. And yeah, Rita, are you coming to London anytime in the next year?
Oh, next year, definitely next year. So this year I don't think so, because with all those fairs starting again and so on, but next year I think it will be next year. Yeah.
Do you live in Berlin? No, you
Me?
don't. You live in a tiny town.
Me? I'm living near Munich.
Munich is far from Berlin, right?
Munich is far from Berlin, yes. It's about 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Car?
What?
In car or in which transport?
It depends on how full the streets is and how fast the train is. So you can, there is a train. It's called the Speeder. It goes to Berlin in 4.5 hours. But it's not always possible to drive with it, and sometimes it doesn't work, so it's longer than 4.5 hours. But the normal thing, I think it was 6 hours with the train and 6 to 7 hours with the car. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
on a personal point, if if it is safe and I am allowed, I would like to go to Berlin to see a couple of friends there myself.
Yeah.
And so if I am there, I might see about, I will warn you, of course, but I won't just turn up I won't, I'm terrible with remembering places. I would if I don't ask you, I would end up going to Munich and be, okay, you said you were near Munich. Well, are you 30 miles away? Are you 40 miles away? How near is near Munich?
Munich
But
is 40 minutes with a car.
anyway, but my point was that I will let you know, and maybe from a personal point of view, it would be lovely to see you and maybe hang out for a couple of
So
days.
normally I'm 1 or 2 times per week in Munich. So normally it's not a problem to go to Munich and then we can meet there. And normally I'm also 3 times a year in Berlin. So yeah, tell me
But
when
in
you...
any case, from a making this game point of view, I think that we aren't going to be able to meet in real life. I mean, myself and Tiz maybe, but Rita, you are a bit, far away. But it is a game that we can, except for the drafting, most of it we can play online. I think this will be a fine thing.
Yeah.
We can maybe keep up some sorts of occasional playtesting, even if it's maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks. But I think it would be good for us to all. I need to take a break from this, I feel. But if you're able to kind of experiment with different versions, then I think that would be ideal. And I will do a wee bit more in future.
Yeah. Cool.
But this has been super lovely. Thank you. I feel like we've established, we talked about, what were our recent highlights? We talked about seeing art galleries, and we talked about, by the way, there was a question, Rita Modl, is that 5 copies of King of 12 behind you?
Yes, but in different languages, and one of it is a prototype. It's not the finished one. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Scrappy Kid was asking about that earlier. So just while you were away, and asked, hey, is that shelves full of King of 12? And I was like, well, they're not full of King of 12. There's many other games as well. But anyway, we had a chat. We went through a whole bunch of ideas. We had some new ideas. We established whether we want to carry on. We've decided we want to carry on, and that is basically where we're at. I think it's been a good chat. I hope you feel the same.
And it's good. So as I said, appointments, making a little pressure, and now you're working at it again.
When you actually come to, sorry, that's mean, but let's get to the end where I always tell people, if you want to find me, you know where I can be found. I am Stuff by Bez basically everywhere. Just search for Stuff by Bez on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, at gmail.com, stuffbybez.com. Yep, just all the links, and I am going to post them all into the thing. Now, Tiz, if someone were to think, hey, I really want to check out Tiz, where can I find Tiz? What would you say to them?
Tiz Creel everywhere. So TIZCREEL. My website, tizcreel.com, Twitter, Instagram at Tiz Creel, email tizcreel@gmail, everything. You can find me basically anywhere. And if you cannot find me, it's because I'm probably not there.
And oh my gosh, sorry, just a second, Rita, and I need to grab your anything from somewhere else. But Rita, if you can remember your links, where do you like to be found?
Of course, on Instagram, I'm posting a lot of board game designing stuff. And I also have a podcast, a German podcast called Spiel aufs Ohr, and where we play games. And yeah, it's also on YouTube or wherever podcasts are. So.
And this is, been the Wild Tiz and the Wild Rita, and where to find them. Okay, so thank you very much. I want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Tiz, for being lovely. And, being with me along this journey. And if anyone has anything that they want to share, then it's, of course, over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. What are you up to after this? Something fun? Something frivolous? Something serious? Something you have to do? Something you want to do? What are you up to? Let me know.
Yeah, me, of course, the Göttingen Spieleautorentreffen, where I have those appointments. So I also have to cut out other prototypes and read the rules again so that I can have those appointments, half an hour and 10 minutes per each prototype. It's like, so I have to get in training again because I'm missing those training things. And yeah.
I imagine you're going to be very energized by this. And Rita, what are you up to? Do you have any plans for today, tomorrow?
You mean Tiz?
You're muted.
Yeah,
yes,
you just said Rita to Tiz.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why I was like, not really responding at all. But yeah, I mean, I have tons of things that I have to do today. I actually been a bit of a procrastinator in the past weeks, and
if I'm like this now, how am I going to be after, my epic stream? I don't know, but anyway, sorry, Tiz.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You're probably gonna be sleep deprived by the end and just saying really random stuff. I might just tune in at 4 a.m. just to see what's going on. But yeah, I'm actually working on.
Or if she's sleeping,
I'll be like, Bez.
Yeah.
Wake up. You might take a snooze at some point. We're gonna see you in the background, like.
It's possible that I'll have micro naps. It's possible that when I'm chatting to people in the wee hours of Friday morning, I'll be like, oh yeah, okay.
You can always say, oh, interesting, interesting, interesting.
I agree.
Agree.
Puts on words on stream and haven't had crap you could suggest. No, there is an intense lineup. You have not seen the lineup. I might actually.
No, I'm sure you're gonna be able to keep up. I'm sure it's gonna be a one-off thing. I'm just kidding.
I am excited for it. Tiz, this is not about what I'm up to. This is about what you're up to.
The bell is ringing. Sorry.
Mother Nature calls again.
So,
in a different way.
Tiz, what are you up to?
Yeah, so I'm actually starting to design a game based on emotions. I've actually been thinking about it for a while. It's just I haven't come with the right formula for it. But yeah, I'm going to work on that today because I got in as part of the mentorship program that, you've been part of it.
And Michael Soul Run. Yeah.
In fact, you're going to have my mentor, Rory, as one of your guests tomorrow.
Oh, Rory O'Connor.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic really mentor to have. Yeah, I had the privilege of chatting to Rory both on the show and also 1 hour privately at some point. where Rory gave me a lot of really good advice about the L deck, telling me how, it was some really good advice. But I hope that your game about emotions goes really well. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward, especially working with Rory and with the community at the mentorship program. So
Nicholas,
that's today for me.
And Nicholas is nailing down the last things for an iteration of the deck builder before I hand it in on the 15th. Exciting times. So everyone's making games. Sounds super lovely. And Rita, I guess what you're going to do is going to write some rules. But I am actually just going to share this. I don't think there's nothing confidential here. So, you can see this is from 10 a.m. Some of the bits like music was blocked out. So what I've done is I've added extra wee bits. So when Lauren comes on at 5:30 in the morning, that will be our music time. And so Lauren, Losbros, and I are actually going to try and make music together on stream. Hello, love meeples. It is lovely to see you. I am just wrapping up. We are talking about what we're up to between now and tomorrow. If you've got anything you want to share, then feel free to say. I am quickly going to chat about for as long as it takes to read out my list of my amazing guests. So my amazing guests so far are Dick Yoda, so known for streaming and for having their first Kickstarter. I mentored them. Calvin Wong Saloon has been on the show, and Calvin Wong Saloon, writer, podcaster, Ryan Estrada, an amazing cartoonist, animator, adventurer. Ryan Estrada, I met in 2005, and we kayaked to Monkey Island. True story. No, we kayaked to the beach from the beach. Monkey Island is beside it. Kirsten Lunde, designer publisher from New Zealand. Lauren will be joining me to play a bunch of music at 5:30. Rory O'Connor at 11. Jonathan Gilmore, David King, Molly Zeff, Maisie Hatchard, Senfin Glim, Shem Phillips, Elaine from No Pun Included, Talita Ryan, James Naylor, Matt Warwick, Eric Slauson, Joanne, Flavian Loisier, distributor, Sarah Sales, designer, publisher, Grace Kendall, who sets up the mentorship program along with Mike Belsole, Mike Bonet, who is Who What's Ycast, KC, all sorts of things going on in Abuja, Nigeria, Scott Moore, Uli Blenneman, Spielworks, Rob Harper, my most amazing friend and designer, Tobena Unwasu, poet, board game presenter, Gil Hovad.
So when is Uli at your? When is Uli there?
12 noon.
At 12.
I will ask Chris to make a proper schedule, and there will be a proper schedule made this afternoon, sometime within the next 5 hours, and I will put it on the internet so everyone can see when these people are coming. So, for example, Gil Hova and Eric Slauson and Shem Phillips and Kirsten Lunde, and I will be eating cheese at midnight UK time. So that will be our cheese eating time. It's very dedicated cheese eating time. It's very important. I need to eat. Debbie Moynihan, Fertissa, Julie Ahern, Mike Nod, Mark Cook, Kathleen Mercury, David Murcutt, Panic, Idol, Michael, Scrappy Kid, Peter Hazelwood, Mill Tamea, Daniel Dancer, Maya Scripel, Ambi Valdez, McCall, Janice Turner, Jessica Medrington, Rita Modl, Jason Hodgson, Isaac Vega, Alan Paul, Scott Halden, and these people are blocked off because I want it to be just my most special guests are Scott Halden, Suzanne Sheldon, Heather Newton, Dominic Krapachetz, and Eric Lang. And of course, we've also got the Cardboard Kid, Alex for improv and story time, and Frank West. And let me actually check who is doing improv with me and Alex. It is me and Alex and Scrappy Kid and Joanne, possibly, and definitely Molly. But yeah,
so I'm on the stream with Isaac. That is correct.
Possibly. I mean,
Yes.
I'll just let people sort it out for themselves.
Yeah,
If
because
I'm
it was
not-
the only time I could do it, and I said, "Hey, let's know Isaac."
I'm happy for people to get to know people. I don't think it really matters. So you are there with Isaac Vega and
cool.
yep, it's only you and Isaac. So that's a
Cool.
quiet moment. There are only three of us on stream at that time. And so it is quiet. There are many times when there will be 5 people, or if people are, because some people put themselves for half an hour, it might be a challenge to get everyone out in time, but we will see how it works. But overall,
you
we
always
will
have
be
to say-
talking.
You always have to say, "You have to go now."
If people want to stay, they can, as long as they aren't, taking over. But when it gets to 6, actually, is Suzanne Sheldon first? I'm just going to remember 5 p.m. 6 p.m. Yep, Suzanne Sheldon. Yep, so if people are sticking around, then we can play some Nano Muckle or Micro Muckle together and play that before it's like, okay, now everyone else has to go. Now I want some time, just Suzanne Sheldon. Let's talk about you. But everyone will be answering 3 questions that I asked. Firstly, what would you like games to be like in the future? What would you like games to do? Secondly, what do you see as your own personal power and responsibilities? Let's talk about the responsibilities and powers that we have as humans, as designers, as game creators, as publishers, as media folk, as whatever. And thirdly, what's the tip that you have? Maybe you could give me a generic tip that everyone else could use it, or maybe you could say, hey, Bez, you need to brush your teeth more often, which I would totally respect as a tip, because I do not brush my teeth enough. But any tip that you have for me, and that's my very selfish request. But those 3 questions, and hopefully the other 2 questions will be interesting for everyone. Those will be questions that we will continue to talk about for the entire 25 hours. And hopefully by the end, we will have come to some sort of vague conclusion, or maybe not, but maybe we will have, maybe it'll be a good discussion, fingers crossed. But I am excited for it, and hopefully you are too. And so share, spread the word. If after that, I just want to reiterate, Friday, I am technically streaming, but only because I will still be streaming from the day before. Once I stop streaming on Friday, I'm not going to do any more streaming. Saturday and Sunday and Monday, I am not streaming. I'm definitely not streaming. On Tuesday morning, I'm not streaming. On Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday, the week after, I'm not streaming. I know that this is a strange thing to say to people, but I've streamed basically every day for over a year now. And I want to make it clear, I'm not streaming anymore, except for Tuesdays. So if you check out my calendar and check out my stuffbybez.com/streams, that will tell you exactly what I'm doing and when. And that brings me to the end of the show. Do you have anything left to say, my wonderful, darling friends? Rita, Tiz?
I wish for you the best tomorrow. Endure, and I hope you discover something interesting.
Thank you. And I am going to rate. Thank you very much. Yep, on number 400. I am going to rate Board Game Strategy, who is a new person. They seem to be doing a lot of Board Game Arena in the background and playing through stuff, and they're like number 72 in terms of the points on Board Game Arena, which is quite a big deal considering how many people there are, which is quite cool. But anyway, we will be going there. Yep, there's only one S in their name. So please make a splash, copy paste the thing. Lots of love. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. And the only thing left to say is bye, 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 This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's
time to go.
Bye bye, bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thanks for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. And bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye. Bye bye, Rita.
Bye bye.
Bye bye,
Thank you.
Tiz.
Thank you so much.
Bye. It was lovely to see you guys.
Bye bye, Love Meeples. Bye bye, Nicholas. Bye bye, Scrappy
Bye.
Kid. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Yep. Yep. Ooh.
Yes.
Yep, that's it.
Wait.
Are we out now? No.
Nope.
No.
Or not.
Bye, 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 bye. This is the
Bye,
end of the
bye,
show. Bye,
Bye
bye,
bye,
bye, bye. And now it's time to go.
Bye 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 bye. Okay, I'm going to end it. Lots of love. Bye bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye, Tiz.
Bye. It was lovely to see you guys. Are we still on?
Yes.
Bye bye. Bye bye.